Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the United States Military Academy. Today, the Cadet Basic Training Regiment of the United States Corps of Cadets will conduct an oath ceremony in honor of the class of 2021. While the cadets assemble for the review, we'd like to give you a brief history of the actions you will observe on the plane today. Military drill plays a fundamental role in the history of soldiering. Drill prepared troops for battle, and for the most part, drill procedures used in the days of old copied actual battlefield maneuvers. There was this realistic aspect to drill that made it such an important part of training. Even today, as new weapons call for new tactics, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity. Over 200 years ago, the problem of training an army already at war confronted the founders of our nation. Suffering from lack of organization, discipline, and teamwork, George Washington's Continental Army continually lost to superior British forces. Washington recognized the poor state of morale and hired a distinguished Prussian officer who specialized in instruction of drill and discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge in the winter of 1778 to face an army of several thousand half-starved, ragged men. He immediately set to work writing drill regulations for a company of 120 soldiers chosen from various units in the Continental Army. Discipline soon became the cornerstone of military life for the soldiers of the Model Company as they learned to obey commands without hesitation. By mastering the art of drill, they learned to obey commands without hesitation through teamwork. The men developed a collective sense of pride in themselves and their unit. Observers watching the Model Company were astonished to see how quickly and orderly the troops formed and maneuvered into different battle formations. Later, General Washington distributed the members of the Model Company throughout the Army to teach what they had been taught. Through the simple emphasis on drill, the effectiveness and the efficiency of the Continental Army greatly improved. In 1779, to ensure continuity and uniformity, von Steuben wrote the American Army's first field manual, the Regulations for Order and Discipline of Troops of the United States, commonly referred to as the Blue Book. You will see cadets saluting throughout the parade on the command of "Present Arms." Since the earliest of times, men of arms have used some form of salute as a means of greeting one another. In the age of chivalry, horse-mounted knights wore steel armor which completely covered the face and body. When two friendly knights met, they lifted their visors with their right hand to expose their faces to each other and used their left hand to hold the horse's reins. Not only did this movement of their sword hand away from their swords, but it also allowed the knights to recognize each other. Over time, this action became a significant gesture of friendship, camaraderie, and respect. The act of raising the right hand to the visor continued even after steel body armor became obsolete with the invention of modern firearms. Today, the most commonly observed form of this exchange is the hand salute. It is given as a recognition and friendly greeting to a comrade in the honorable profession of arms. The United States Military Academy is pleased to count among its guests for today's ceremony the members of the United States Military Academy Admissions Committee and the Admissions Office. During the past year is the United States Military Academy Band. Established in 1817, this year the band proudly celebrates its bicentennial. In Pfeiffer, it has evolved into one of the most capable and professional performing groups in the world. As the oldest musical organization in the United States Army, the West Point Band has been inspiring America's leaders for 200 years. The music that will be played as the new cadets march onto the plane is The Thunderer and Liberty Bell. The United States Military Academy Band is under the direction of Captain Richard Winkles, with the drum major Sergeant First Class Nathan Eby. The bugle call just heard was attention. It is used to alert the cadet commanders to the start of the ceremony. Bugle calls were used in the military service of the United States as a direct result of the contact of the Continental Army with European soldiers and armies during the Revolutionary period. troops for today's ceremony is the regimental commander, Cadet Captain Marcus Arroyo from Orlando, Florida. His staff consists of the regimental executive officer, Cadet Captain Bailey Boland from Walton, Kentucky. Regimental adjutant, Cadet Captain John Stockdale from Richmond, Virginia. Regimental intelligence officer, Cadet Captain Ryan Tucker from Yorktown, Indiana. The regimental operations officer, Cadet Captain Lewis Wereback from Hoosick Falls, New York. The regimental logistics officer, Cadet Captain Ian Greer from Jefferson City, Tennessee. And the regimental communications officer, Cadet Captain Ryan O'Deans from Austin, Texas. Rday marks the beginning of a close connection that the class of 2021 and the class of 1971 will forge for the next 4 years as a result of the West Point Association of Graduates 50-year affiliation program. This program will enable these two classes to work together on at least one significant event during each year that the class of 2021 is here at West Point, culminating when distinguished members of the class of 1971 will present graduating members of the class of 2021 with their first set of second lieutenant bars on graduation day.
I know where it's at, but I can't see him. Right here, Lord! Let's go, sir. Okay. I see Joshua. Joshua, wait till the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, United States Military Academy presents the class of 2021.
Regiment! Company! Attention!
The official party for today's ceremony consists of Brigadier General Steve Gillen, Commandant of the United States Corps of Cadets, Class of 1990. Command Sergeant Major Don Ripplemeyer, Command Sergeant Major of the United States Corps of Cadets. Colonel Brian Reed, the Brigade Tactical Officer, Class of 1989. Sergeant First Class David Fisher, Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge, Brigade Tactical Department. Colonel James Maddox, Commander, Cadet Basic Training Regiment. And Sergeant First Class Scott Brinkerhoff, Command Sergeant Major, Cadet Basic Training Regiment.
Present! Present! Art!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for honors and the playing of our national anthem. Please feel free to sing along as it is played.
Order! Order! Arms!
Please be seated.
Sir, the class of 2021 is present to take the oath of allegiance.
As one.
As one, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 77th Commandant of the United States Corps of Cadets, Brigadier General Steve Gillen.
New cadets, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
That I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the national government.
to the national government,
That I will maintain
that I will maintain
and defend
and defend
the sovereignty
the sovereignty
of the United States,
of the United States,
paramount
paramount
to any and all allegiance,
to any and all allegiance,
sovereignty,
sovereignty,
or fealty
or fealty
that I may owe
that I may owe
to any state
to any state
or country whatsoever,
or country whatsoever,
and that I will,
and that I will,
at all times,
at all times,
obey the legal orders
obey the legal orders
of my superior officer
of my superior officer
and the Uniform Code
and the Uniform Code
of Military Justice.
of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You may lower your right hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the newest cadets at the United States Military Academy, the class of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the official Army song, "The Army Goes Rolling Along." Please feel free to sing along with us as it is played.
March along, sing our song. We're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might as the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Come off the gate, it's loud and strong. For wherever you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Please be seated.
Regimental Commander, take charge of the cadets.
As one, sir.
As one.
Company commanders, take charge of your companies and march them to the cadet mess.
Right, face.
Right, 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 right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and for the safety of our cadets, we would like to ask that you please remain in place as the cadets march back to the Central Academy area. The march that will be played as the cadets depart is Washington Post. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain George Thayer from Central Lake, Michigan. The First Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Sarah Boer from McLean, Virginia. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Saad bin Saad from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The First Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Luke Wilson from Reiner, Virginia. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Hunter Mixon from Elkton, Maryland. The First Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Scott Botino from Sacramento, California. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Sarah Meyer from Mentor, Ohio. The First Sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Dylan Allen from Altavis, Virginia. Since the days of the American Revolution, flag bearers have been an important element in ceremonies. At the center of today's formation and bearing the national colors is the United States Corps of Cadets Cadet Basic Training Color Guard, led by Cadet Sergeant Kyle Marshall from Fairfax, Virginia. Marching with the colors is the Regimental Command Sergeant Major, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Johanna Forbes from DuPont, Washington. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Sidney DeWeese from Yorktown, Virginia. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant James Manning from Matanook, Rhode Island.
See you, Joe!
Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Tierno Kane from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Tyler Anderson from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Peter Mueller from Orlando, Florida. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Tristan Tarpey from Lafayette, California. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Brian Davis from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Dexter Pennick from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Company I is commanded by Cadet Captain Teresa Hinman from Troy, Michigan. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Anthony Wheat from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to fix up the trap. Don't worry about that. Thank you, sir. You're a good man. Thank you. Yeah, you have no choice. What's up? My shoes? I don't have my shoes down there. My shoes are on my feet.
Sir, this concludes this ceremony. That's one, sir.
Anyone here that is Commodore or in the nursing